It's so great to see you as usual.
I know. It's always wonderful to see you. I want to give you a hug.
Hugs,
I
hugs, hugs.
miss you so much. I miss you. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. I feel your light on the internet though.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad social media keeps us connected.
Yes, I know. It makes a big difference. So
Hmm. Hmm.
absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like Patrick found you. So my husband, he found you and he said, "Oh, she's so great." And you chatted and helped him. And I feel like I sort of like took over. I was like, wait, she's so awesome. I went in on this. So you have been so amazing that we've both worked with you.
I love it. I love working with men. I love working with women. I love working with the couples. That really good energy. Y'all are fantastic as a couple together. So it's been an honor to connect with you and just kind of elevate your wonderfulness.
Oh, thank you. Yes, you're amazing at finding those strengths. That is definitely your strength.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So we want to hear about you. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Lynn Chang, founder of Career Zen. So I am a holistic career counselor. And that means back in the day when I got my PhD in counseling psychology, I decided to specialize in career counseling, right? It pervades all of our lives, and it's a matter of living out your life purpose. Like, why are we here on this planet? So I feel really grateful that I was trained by some of the best career counselors here. They've since retired, but I'm still, passing on the legacy of what they taught me. And then partway through my time at the university working as a career counselor, I was going through some personal changes and challenges in my life. And I rediscovered yoga. And that's when it really hit me like, oh my God, yoga really transformed my life and gave me peace, balance, and wellness. I can start seeing the connections between career counseling and yoga. And that's when I kind of went off and did Career Zen. For me, it's in the work that I do, but also the way my perspective is now. And Christy, like you were saying, my ability to see people's gifts and talents and strengths come so easily now. I think it's because of the yoga. I think it's because of the yoga. So yeah, for me, it's super fun to support people in their careers, whether they're exploring careers and wondering what's going to be a better fit, talking about the life purpose, how can I make a difference in the world, to I'm just burnt out from work, I'm burnt out from home, how can I have more wellness and zen and peace in my life? So I love teaching all of that stuff.
Yeah. And you're out of everyone like I've met just one of the most positive, intuitive, happy, just it's the energy, right? Like I feel like that happy energy. It's like I just want to be around you all the time.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, I love sharing the positivity. That's what it's all about, right? Life is too short to be miserable. And so we have the ability within us, like once you learn some techniques and tools, you can just generate that whenever you need to.
Yep. I love it. So, since you are so great at it, let's talk about career transitions. What you see now, kind of what's going on in the world, and what do you see possibly moms and even families' roles evolving to in the future?
I love this question because it gives me a chance to highlight the importance of we're moving away from an old world system of doing things that are just so antiquated and broken to a new way. And so I really love educating and empowering people. Like there's a whole new way to think about career, there's a whole new way to think about education and money and fulfillment. That's what I love to teach. So in a nutshell, I will say the old way of thinking is, oh, you have to go to college and you choose this one degree and you do that forever, climb that corporate ladder, and then you'll be happy and successful, and then you can retire with a pension. And almost none of that is true now. And I feel like that's where people get stuck is sometimes they aren't able to complete their college degree, they're choosing not to, or they get a college degree or even a master's or their PhD and realize, I want to do something totally different, and then they feel bad. But actually, there's a lot of freedom and flexibility between your educational background and what you want to do. There's 500,000 different careers. 500,000! There's so much out there, changing all the time, and you can really mix and match as you need to, as you want to, as you feel inspired. There are very few professions that you have to have a certain degree, certain experience. A lot of it has to do with your own curiosities, your own ability to learn it on the job, your own relationships with people who can say like, you know what, Christy, I like you. I'm going to give you a chance. I believe in you. We're going to set you up for success. We're going to train you on the job. You're going to be great because we just really like you. So that's what I love teaching people, is there's so much flexibility and variety. And I'll also say you don't have to depend on one full-time job to give you income. I'm a big fan of multiple streams of income, especially for women, empowering them to feel what it's like to have maybe, you know, job here, side gig here, some passive income over here, and the whole time you're having fun. That's what I want people to feel, like work can be fun, work is life-giving, and you're also benefiting the world as a result. So that's what I love to teach. I think that's really important to empower women. And right now, when I work with stay-at-home moms, and maybe they want to get a part-time job, maybe their kids are getting older and they're ready to, you know, enter the workforce again, my best tip is to think about all of the experiences you've had. They don't even have to be paid. I know moms do a lot of volunteering, a lot of school stuff. So keep a running list of that, and you can actually add that to your resume. It can look super, super impressive. So be keeping track of all of that. All experience counts.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Oh, that reminds me of the gosh, there's a radio commercial where they're talking about the mom and she's the chief everything officer. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, is that CEO? Like chief
Yes.
officer?
Everything officer, yeah. Like,
That's
yeah.
great. Yeah, yeah. So there's definitely ways to put all of that on a resume. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's such a great way to look at it and think, oh, wow, I have done this, you know, give
Yeah,
yourself that credit.
Your work is super valuable, all these experiences and transferable skills. So one of the reasons why you can go from industry to industry, job to job, is because of this thing called transferable skills. You're learning skills in this area, and then when you go do this, you take the same skills and you just apply it in a different way. So yeah, anything's possible, y'all. Pretty fun to think about.
Yeah, I love that mentality. Love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of kids, are there any ways that moms can encourage positive career messages to our kids?
So I am not a mom of human kids myself, but I'll say Jane Goodall is one of my sheroes. I love her work, pioneer, right, in the wildlife biology world. And when I went to go hear her speak many years ago, the way she talked about her mom, oh my God, I'm getting like all teary-eyed. The way she talked about her mom was so touching. So think about Jane Goodall as this tiny little girl, maybe like 3 or 4 years old, okay? She was always so curious about animals. I think she lived on a farm. And one day her mom found her in the bedroom on her white linen bed sheet with a pile of worms and dirt on the bed. And she said, thank goodness her mom did not overreact. She just simply went up to Jane and said, hey, Jane, what are you doing? And then Jane said, how do they walk? The worms have no feet. How do they walk? And so they just sat there and had a conversation about how worms move through dirt. And then the mom said, like, why don't we take the worms back to their home outside? And the fact that she was so calm and chill about it, I don't know if I were in that situation, if I would have been so calm. I like things very clean and neat myself, but there's something that the mom recognized this natural talent and curiosity that Jane had, and really nurtured it, nourished it, without having to put a label. You know, sometimes we might see things, kids do something kind of cute, like, oh, they're going to be a pediatrician one day. Oh, they're going to be this. And I think when we do that, we kind of maybe squash the possibilities when we label something, but instead just to be open and say like, wow, that's really cool. And kind of talk about it and explore what that means. Another thing that Jane did, she wanted to know where eggs came from, because they had a chicken coop. And they had helpers like bring in eggs every morning, and she would ask the helpers like, where do the chicken eggs come from? Like, what part of the chicken do the eggs come from? And the helpers were like kind of embarrassed, and they didn't know what to say, so they would skirt the question. And she was like, I need to find out, where do chicken eggs come from? And so she hid inside the chicken coop, like below everything, so she could see the hens nesting. And I think she was in there for like a good part of the day into the nighttime. Like, they could not find Jane. The mom was calling her. She wasn't responding. They called the sheriff.
And yeah, I would.
Yeah, I mean, the daughter's missing. It's a big deal, right? And the neighbors all came on the property, all looking for her, calling Jane. And of course, Jane was on a mission, so she didn't respond. She did not move from that spot. And then when she saw the chicken lay the egg, she ran out of the chicken coop, went to find her mom. And even though the sheriff and all the neighbors are there, she's like, I found out where chicken eggs come from. And her mom didn't say like, Jane, where have you been? The cop is over here asking. She's like, well, tell me, what did you see? Like, the fact that she was so, again, calm about it, like, that was an amazing story and image that has really stayed with me. Like, what if all parents can really nurture their kids' curiosity without having to put a label on it, without putting fears on it? I would say a lot of my clients who are creatively minded have heard messages, either implicit or explicit, about their creativity skills. I'm like, oh, well, that's not a real job. And it doesn't have to be a real job, whatever that means, but just to comment on something with kind of a negative connotation to it, you know, kids pick up on that energy, and then they just learn to not do it. And then that part of them kind of shrivels away. And I feel like we really want to nurture our kids to be whole, vibrant beings. When I was little, my parents would see the kinds of shows I loved on PBS, like monkey studies and human brains, and they would say, uh-oh, Lynn's gonna be a psychologist one day. And I said, oh, mommy, daddy, I'm a good girl. I would never do that to you. I would never be a psychologist. So, oh, you're giving me that look, Christy. I think it's because in the Asian culture, they don't understand psychology. And so there's no value for it. So they didn't understand it, so they didn't value it. It's maybe more respectable in the Asian culture to do something more traditional, like medicine or engineering. And I can't really do math that well, and I'm super squeamish. And so it took me a long time to find psychology and to really be honest with myself. Like, this is my thing. I'm so sorry, mommy and daddy, but this really is my thing, and I love it, and I think I can help people with it. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it, but it feels right. So yeah, that's my invitation to parents out there, is to, you know, watch, observe your kids, what they are into, the way they think, and really nurture the possibilities, because you never know how things are going to unfold.
Yeah. Well, and good for you too for being, what is it, Gretchen Rubin calls a rebel. You're like, well, you know, this is me, and I'm going to do it anyway, you know. So
yeah. Yeah. You and I are both feelers. I felt it in my heart. It was the right thing to do. So I didn't want to make my parents unhappy, but I really had to follow my heart. And it's all good now. They appreciate and accept psychology a lot more these days.
Oh, good. I can tell you're very happy and you're at peace, so it worked out.
Very zen.
Yeah. So speaking of kids, they have just I feel like an abundance of energy, right? And we've kind of been cooped up and now we're sort of getting out, but some of us are like, only to an extent, you know. So what's your favorite energizing activity right now? Because we need to keep up with them.
Yes, yes. I actually have two ideas. If you feel like you need to up your energy, I feel like a little 2-minute dance party is super fun.
Yeah.
So cranking up the music. I like going on YouTube and looking up Just Dance choreography videos, like any of your favorite songs. What is it? Queen's song of Don't Stop Me Now
Mm-hmm.
was one of my favorites, right? And there's a little panda video that goes with it. But neuroscientists found like that is the happiest song in the world. And so if you listen to
Wow.
that song, you dance with that song, like you cannot help but feel so good. It has become my phone's ringtone now. So if you call me, that's what I hear. And so I hear it and then I pick up the phone like super happy. So a little dance party to up your energy. And then, with yoga, we talk about you can really learn how to control and manipulate your energy. If you're feeling low, you can bring it up. And if you're feeling like a little too frazzled or something, a little too just wired and tired, then you can go, whoo, and relax the body and mind. So that's the waterfall pose. And that's one of my favorite yoga poses to teach.
Oh, yay.
Have you done that one, Christy?
Yes, I learned that one from you. I wouldn't know about it if it weren't for you.
Oh, yay, yay, yay. Yeah. What do you notice when you do the waterfall pose?
I love it. I think there was another time that I was listening to you and I loved this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because, sometimes memories are not always completely accurate. But I believe you said if you do this for 20 minutes, it's the same as resting for 2 hours. Was that correct? And I completely notice it. It is invigorating. It's like taking this wonderful nap. I just meditate and put my legs up, and yes, I feel ready to press the reset button. It's
Every mom
awesome.
needs to learn that. Every mom needs some downtime, right? And restorative yoga is accelerated rest. So this is like, there's no effort. You don't do yoga. Yoga does you. You just lay there. It's so easy. And it's equivalent to a 2-hour nap. It's so restful, so nourishing.
Yeah. I go open answer. No, don't answer it right now. Well, somebody just. Okay, well, I think it may be a delivery. Just leave it alone, please. Can you say hi? No.
Okay.
Okay, we're not in the mood. Sorry. The doorbell rang. We've taught him to, ask first. So
Yeah.
I think it's probably a delivery. So
Very important.
yeah. Okay, so do you let's do it. Do you wanna show everybody?
Together. Yay. And I love what you're wearing, Christy. Just whatever is comfortable, what you have on at home. Y'all, yoga is not about $90 stretch pants. Like that is not yoga. Yoga is pajamas. Yoga is sweatpants. It's just t-shirt and shorts. It's whatever you have on. You can lay down in whatever you're wearing. So maybe not a wedding gown, but whatever regular clothes you have, if you can lay down, you can do restorative yoga. So yeah, so let's demonstrate, shall we, Christy?
Yes. Okay, let me move my chair. I can kind of adjust.
Yeah, so if you have a floor and then a surface like a chair or a bench or an ottoman, let's see, a stool, a bed. We just need something to elevate our legs. That's perfect. Yeah. So you lay on the ground, you're going to bend your knees and then place your feet on top of that surface. Nice. Ooh, how does that feel?
Amazing.
It's so easy. It already feels so good. It already feels so good. And I invite you to close your eyes in this kind of position. So let's take some deep breaths together. Okay, some cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose, pause at the top, and then sigh it out. Good. Again, inhale through the nose, pause at the top, and then sigh it out. Again, inhale, pause, and let's sigh out the day. Nice. Inhale, pause, sigh out the week. Inhale, pause, sigh out the month. Last one. Inhale, pause, sigh out the year. These kinds of cleansing breaths can be really soothing. We are releasing the stress from our body. We are letting go of that which no longer serves, and then creating space in our bodies for new experiences, new ideas, new possibilities. So this is called waterfall pose because your blood is flowing from your feet down your legs like a waterfall. And then the energy is pooling at your core center. And that is where your energy is naturally replenished and cleansed. You don't have to do anything. Like the body knows what to do. The body is an incredibly wise system. Yeah.
I love it so much. I felt the year. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you were able to let go of some stuff.
Let go of the year. I'm like, oh yes, this year.
Very cleansing. Yeah. So even if you did it for like 3 to 5 minutes a day, it's really nice. It's nice for like as you go from one thing to another as a mom, you're just, you're constantly busy. And so just that tiny moment of transition might be nice to do. Like before dinner, before you drop them off at school, before this, before that, just a few minutes upside down. And if you have the luxury of up to 20 minutes, that's the sweet spot. That's really, really good stuff. So,
yes,
yeah.
I love that idea of pocketing it in as well, because there are days where I haven't been able to prioritize, and I'm going to put it just that way, like time's relative.
Yeah.
And it's really, really challenging to kind of work your day and time that way. But there are days where I have not prioritized it. So I don't have or create the 20 minutes. But that pocket is, the 3 to 5 minutes. That's perfect.
It's really doable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is great. Yes. And we need to hear that constantly. And parents too, like dads, like anybody, grandparent, however, any parent, this is anyone in general, this is so wonderful. It's restorative. I love that you say you don't have to do anything. It's like, yeah, that's what I need right now.
Yeah. It's called lazy man yoga. You just lay there. It's great.
It's absolutely perfect. I feel like all of us kind of need that right now, even if we're cooped up or sometimes still going out, like kind of restoring our mind and bodies for sure.
Yes, it is so good for the mind for us to go upside down, because in Chinese medicine, we say whatever is elevated is stimulated. So the mind, the head on top of the body, as we're sitting and standing and walking and running and cooking, it's just on all the time and we get burnout, right? And we can't think clearly. So just go upside down. It's not to stop your thinking, that's just not humanly possible, but just to slow things down, quieting, softening the inner voices, and just letting the body heal itself.
The noise.
The noise, the chatter. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I know that after this, people are going to want to connect with you. And so give us some of your social info. I'm going to post it up to the actual links, but where can they find you socially?
Yeah, thanks, Christy. On Instagram, I'm Career Zen there. I've got lots of yoga and meditation and career advice for everyone. And then on Facebook and my own, and then LinkedIn, of course, on YouTube under Career Zen. I've got lots of these yoga meditations. It's from my book, The 10-Day Career Cleanse. So there's 21 wellness techniques, and a lot of the yoga and meditation stuff is on YouTube now. Yes. And then everything is on my website. So Career Zen website. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That book is great. The Neuroflix. That's that I feel like it was a game changer. That is great. I love that
Yes.
Neuroflix.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. Yay. So glad it spoke
Absolutely.
to you, Christy.
Oh yes, it all does.
Oh, so sweet. I've really enjoyed our time together, Christy.
Yeah, me too. I'm so glad we can connect, even if it is just for a little while digitally, it's still, it's heartwarming.
Yes. Hopefully one day soon we can sit and chat and have a cup of tea and catch up with everything.
Absolutely. You definitely. We're going to do it.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Have a wonderful day. It was so good chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Me too. Namaste, Christy.
Bye-bye.